Venezuela is experiencing a confusing and dangerous crisis with two governments and two congresses with opposing political ideologies. Ordinary citizens are trapped in the conflict and running out of resources. Protesters are in the streets, inflation is out of control, and nobody knows what will happen next. Venezuela's Christians are also feeling confused and intimidated. It's a complex situation, and we have gotten to this point due to the fact that we are not doing the right thing in many ways and our inability to dialogue with each other. President Nicolás Maduro was inaugurated for a second term in January, but his election was rejected by the Venezuelan parliament due to serious electoral irregularities.
¿Quién es la autoridad en función?
Who is the functional authority? This is the confusion. However, from a legal perspective, it is clear that there is an absence of power, since the government unfortunately implemented an unconstitutional procedure, the so-called communal constituency. This body has no right to hold an election, and it was this body that, outside of the electoral process, called for a presidential election. The United States and numerous countries in Latin America and Europe has recognized the President of the National Assembly, Juan Guaidó, as interim president. According to the Venezuelan constitution, Guaidó must establish a transitional government and call for new presidential elections. The church has to move out, as it did in the case of Eastern Europe, in Romania and Ukraine, where the churches took to the streets to pray on their knees. Although it was a painful and bloody process, it lasted only a few days, and we need to be there, to be present, to bless people, to have an attitude of compassion and mercy, and try to do what we can to help people in a practical way. The Evangelical Council of Venezuela has spoken out for the change, but many churches have been slow to respond, as an unprecedented humanitarian crisis grips the country. The first agenda of the church is an agenda of faith, an agenda of offering hope, but also humanitarian assistance. It requires us to seek out every possible way to achieve solidarity. We are called to share the little that we have, but at the same time, look for support from the international community and the evangelical international community to help Venezuela. This was a report for GNA by Fundación H2D.